All right, what it do, everybody? It's your boy LOG from Where There's Smoke. I had shut down my audio interface earlier, so I forgot to turn it on, and anyway, I had to reset OBS, so that was what caused a slight delay. But just kind of wanted to go live and talk about a few things. Um, Me and Joey's episode of we've been really lacking and slow, but episode 2 of Dark Duel Stories is out on my channel. It'll be out on his channel tomorrow, and hopefully early next week, we'll have episode 3, and we are moving on to the second stage of that game where we're facing like everybody from Battle City, and I forget a lot of their names, but of course the boss of this level is Seto Kaiba himself. So in the first round there's 5 different duelists. Second round there's 6. We have Rex, we have Weevil, we have Kaiba, we have that magician guy with the little mask. And we have a couple other people from Battle City, so that'll be cool. A little more challenging, definitely, than round 1, if I remember from back in the day. So look forward to that. If y'all happen to check out the freestyle from last night's live stream, check that out. Let me know what you thought. I kind of teased maybe doing the freestyle thing on the Syntax Boys YouTube channel in the future. Maybe I'd like to kind of get that going somewhat. And anyway, without further ado, let me make sure the streams are going, and then we will jump into the topic for today. Let me see. YouTube seems to be good. Hold on, give me a second. The streams are going. Yeah, YouTube's good. Rumble looks good. See if I have audio on Rumble. Yeah, YouTube's good. Rumble. Damn, I'm pretty quiet on Rumble. Oh, now let's see. I was still muted. Surprised they could hear me at all. Damn, I'm pretty quiet on Rumble. Oh, now let's see. I was still muted. Surprised they could hear me. Okay, Rumble's good. I wonder how. And then we would. I kind of teased maybe one if I remember from back in the day. So look for. All right, I should be all good. Mute that. Mute that. And YouTube's muted. Okay. Check, check. Yeah, we should be all good. That was tripping me out. Anyway, okay. Let's get let's get going. Let me put this on the screen for y'all. I thought, damn. Bingo. All right. I also wanted to see just in the algorithm if I would come up when I searched for live. Damn, y'all are hating on where there's smoke. Fuck it. All right.
Well, some of the top issues up for discussion: Doge's goal to slash government waste, fraud, and abuse, Ukraine's minerals deal negotiations with the White House as they try to end the 3-year plus war with Russia after Russia invaded Ukraine, and the president's budget bill, which passed last night after some high drama, and of course, the illegal immigration crackdown. All of it in that meeting expected today. And Republican Senator Tim Scott of the great state of South Carolina, chairman of the National Republican Senatorial Committee and Banking Committee, is with me now. So this is a big moment for the reasons I pointed out. To have anybody from the opposite party, it feels like a moment of potential healing. What's your take on it?
Well, Harris, it reminds me of the team of rivals that was assembled by President Abraham Lincoln. The fact of the matter is that President Trump is bringing this country together. He had record turnout, record numbers in the African American community, the Hispanic community. I think it was like 62% of the Native American community. What we see is this working class coalition no
Okay, let's talk about.
longer to bring price long hours of revenues
There's a
coming
lot
to
of
the
fluff
treasury.
on this news story here. Huh. Critics warn large checks could drive inflation with a rapid increase in spending while also increasing the federal debt. I thought this was supposed to be save money that was like being wasted, that it was basically like extra money. Nobody knows. Yeah, I think it's a big hype train and it sounds like flashy and catchy to people. Oh, $5,000 checks, but like hmm. All right, well these news stories about it are kind of ass, I'm not gonna lie. Let's see. I feel like he was asked about that when he was at CPAC. I almost feel like it was in one of the videos we watched. Maybe on like last night's stream.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Doge update. Please welcome Newmax host Rob Schmidt.
I think they're getting jiggy with it.
To see you all. Thanks for coming out. Good to see you. I'm not going to kill any more time. Let's bring out Elon Musk.
Oh, okay. Oh, there's no transcript for this? Yeah. That kind of blows. Oh my god. He is such a weirdo.
We're going to stay up for 1 second. Hey, guys.
He's got a big enough belt buckle for y'all?
We've got one more surprise in case this wasn't enough. I'm going to let Elon do it. Who else is here?
Well, President Milei has a gift for me.
Javier Milei from Argentina. You guys know who that is, right? Why don't we bring him out?
Yeah.
Oh my god. This is so crooked? What is going on here? Oh no. Oh my god. Oh my god.
A little stage prop.
Oh my god. This doesn't have oh, maybe the other one did have a transcript and I overlooked it. I mean, these videos are basically the same. This one doesn't have the long intro. No, it doesn't. Okay, yeah. Let's see if he talks about the stimulus checks, supposedly.
the bureaucracy.
That's exactly right. Let's talk about these Doge dividend checks that everybody.
Pro tip: if you're a YouTuber or just someone who does reaction videos or stuff like this, or if you're just someone who likes extra tools, you a lot of videos. Sometimes they don't have them the very first day they're posted, but a lot of times they will after a couple days. They'll have this where it says you click. You go down to the description right here, down below the video. Of course, everyone knows. You click more. It says transcript, nice bold thing. Follow along using the transcript. You click show transcript, and it brings it up over here what the chat is, and it's not perfect, but every 5 seconds or so, it has a sentence of what they're saying at that time of the whole video. Uh, and then you can hit Control F on your keyboard and type in a certain word to kind of scan the transcript word, and then you can jump to that time stamp in the video. So, little quick pro tip: if you want a way to find something quick in a video or navigate a video quickly, especially if you're sure they're gonna say a certain thing or you've watched it before and you know they said something, you can just again go down in the description, click show transcript, comes up over here on the right, and then you can hit Control F on your keyboard, which is Control Find, or it opens up a Find little tab like this up here, and then you can type in the word you're looking for. I typed in stimulus, it didn't come up in the transcript, it came up in one of the comments. Then I typed in checks, and that came up in the transcript like so. Checks. It tagged one in the comments, but I can hit up and look right here. It has it at 1713. Hit up again. 924. That's the first time. Comments or the second one. First one is comments. So happened to be 3 out of 4 was in the transcript. Click on that timestamp, goes to that part of the video, and bada bing, bada boom. Anyway, let's get on with the reaction.
He's talking about this.
And let me kind of give me my own little take or pose the question like I like to do, and get y'all's comments or whatever thoughts. What are y'all's thoughts on the stimulus checks? Did y'all like them, hate them? What was y'all's thoughts when that kind of happened during COVID a couple times? And what are your thoughts on if it's going to happen again with a somewhat a larger amount? Maybe that was the total some people got during COVID from like all 2 or 3 checks. Maybe some people got around 5,000. I don't think most people did. But what were y'all's thoughts on it then? What are your thoughts on it now? And back then they just printed new money to send us checks. Now supposedly it's going to be money that is already out there and getting paid that they're finding that is waste and is government corruption, and they're cleaning up the waste and corruption, and they have all this surplus of money, and that's where this is coming from. So does that change the way you view it? And just what are your thoughts on it overall? Do you think it would be good for the economy, bad for the economy? I feel like it wouldn't be good, but I feel like it wouldn't be as bad as the COVID ones because they're not printing new money. They're just taking old money that was being wasted and giving it to people who can put it back into the economy. So I don't think it'll be the best thing, but I definitely think it would be better than when it happened. Sorry. I definitely think it would be better than when it happened during COVID. So y'all give y'all's opinions in the comments, and yeah, just let me know what y'all think. If y'all have a different opinion or if y'all have any kind of a good thought on that, go ahead and get in the comments for sure. Let me see if anyone's getting in the chat right now. Nope. So let's see. I kind of want to. I was getting weirded out when Rumble was, not that it really matters that much, but when Rumble was still hearing me when I was muted. So let me check that real quick. I was getting weirded out when Rumble was, not that it really matters that much, but when Rumble was still hearing me when I was muted. So let me check that real quick. I was getting weirded out when Rumble was, not that it really matters that much, but when Rumble was still hearing me when I was muted. So let me check that real quick. I was getting weirded out when Rumble was, not that it really matters that much, but when Rumble was still hearing me when I was muted. So let me check that real quick. I was getting weirded out when Rumble was, not that it really matters that much, but when Rumble was still hearing me when I was muted. I was getting weirded out when Rumble was not. Okay, it was on a feedback loop. I get it now. Okay, all good. Okay, yeah.
This week, and I know you tweeted out that you were gonna. Does everybody want like a $5,000 check in the mail? It sounds kind of good, right? And the best part about it would be knowing where it came from. That's $5 grand that you sent them last year.
Totally. It's money that's taken away from things that are destructive to the country, and from organizations that hate you to you. That's awesome.
Does it seem? I mean, have you talked?
I mean, that's like glorious. That's like
it's the best.
The spoils of battle, you know.
Spoils of battle. I like that. Is there traction on that?
Yeah. So I talked to the president. He's supportive of that, and so it sounds like that's something we're going to do.
Yep.
So as we're finding savings, that's going to translate directly to reductions in tax. So
yeah. I think they fired 6,000 people at the IRS today. And I think Lutnick said last night that they're talking about shutting down the IRS. And I think it's fair. I think people should realize this is, I mean, the amount of money that we send Washington like $5 or $6 trillion a year. That is such an ungodly amount of money. I mean, what do they? They say like a trillion seconds is like 30 years or something like that. I mean, that's how much we send them, and they seem to never have enough. There must be a lot you can cut.
No, absolutely. People ask me, what's the most surprising thing that you've encountered when you go to D.C., when you're in D.C.? And I said, well, the most surprising thing is the scale of the expenditures, and actually how easy it is to, when you add caring and competence, where it was absent before, you can actually save billions of dollars, sometimes in an hour.
Yeah.
Like, it's wild.
And then they scoff at it and say, oh, a few billion here, there. I mean, the way they're talking about it, you can see they don't care. It's such little money compared to how much they're used to wasting. That's what's really scary.
I mean, exactly. But obviously, it just shows that they really lack empathy for the average taxpayer who's working hard, paying.
Well, what do y'all think? I think it sounds good. Everything they're doing sounds good and common sense. So it just makes you worry. I was talking to my brother over dinner tonight, and we were just saying I'm having trouble really nailing down the time frame, but I feel like just 3 to 4 years ago, during Trump's, during Biden's term, but especially during Trump's first term, people that were Trump supporters and conservative, they didn't really care for or like Elon. Elon was more of someone on the left, and now it's flipped or reverse roles, man. And now people that used to not like Elon are starting to come around and like him, and the people on the left that used to kind of like him, if anything, they're starting to say, oh, he's aligned with Trump, I don't like him anymore. So it's weird how they can, just in a matter of years, flip. Elon can change his mind because he didn't like Trump the first time around. So Elon went from someone who didn't like Trump to someone who supports and likes Trump. And then people that didn't like Elon, their minds of him have changed because he's aligned with Trump. So it's just weird how people can go from not hating somebody but strongly disliking them or not caring for them, and then to now just their opinion flips so quickly on someone. It's okay, you never even knew said person, but you all of a sudden go from hating them to being their biggest fan of their common sense, they're good, they're on the good side. It's are they really? I don't know. I think we're still gonna need a good 3 to 6 months, probably closer to 6 months, to really see if all this stuff that Trump and Elon are doing is really gonna help us or hurt us. So I'll withhold my judgment on that for now. And but y'all let me know what y'all think about the stimulus checks. Are y'all in favor of them? Or y'all not? And as always, we know most things aren't just black and white. Well, yeah, I would say most things aren't so black and white. It's funny how even sometimes you have to, when you say something, you have to really stop and think about it. But are there things you could see about this stimulus check being good And are there things you can see about it being bad, or do you think it's all good, all bad? What are y'all's thoughts on it? I kind of think, um, while it's good for them to be cutting down on waste and corruption and that sort of thing, I think starting to send people money periodically is setting a bad precedent going forward. Uh, it kind of almost feels like they're priming us for universal basic income, which could end up happening if like people start getting, how would I say, replaced in the job market by AI and robotics. People are not going to have anything to do or any way to have earning power. So they're going to start giving universal basic income just to, I don't know, just to keep people from, I don't even know, but it's gonna make people dependent on the government, and we're not gonna have any earning power. And then that coupled with like the fact that we're not any of us able to really own or buy a home, and things like that, it's just like wow, we're just getting less and less free and having less and less choices as far as like you know being able to earn our own money and not depending on the government just to pay us uh the bare minimum to barely get by. So it doesn't put us in a good place. Um, if that's where it's leading, and it kind of seems like it could be. So we'll just be on the lookout for that. We'll see if this starts to become more of a trend, and just kind of keep an eye on it. And if it does happen again, we can compare it to how it went during COVID and kind of draw similarities or maybe differences. And this is gonna be something we'll probably be tracking for if and when it does happen. So, yeah, y'all let me know what y'all think. He made it seem like in this video at CPAC that was about a week ago that it was a high likelihood of happening, and we'll see. So, let's see if anybody got in the comments and had anything to say about that. All right. These are videos that are kind of old that I wish I had covered a while back. But there's most of them are pretty short and they got good Trump content. So we'll kind of run through a few of them real quick. And then what was my other topic? I already forgot. That's terrible, isn't it? Oh, the Steve Smith thing. We'll see if I feel like covering that at the end, honestly. And if someone in the comments really wants it, then I'll go over it. But let's watch these few. I got 3 Trumps and 1 Netanyahu that are kind of old from when they're right around when Netanyahu came over here and met with Trump and a little bit before that. So we'll watch these kind of old videos that I've been wanting to cover. They're all pretty short and pretty funny with Trump being real candid. And then we'll kind of, I might try to find another topic or something to talk about. And then we might round out with the Steve Smith stuff at the end. If someone really wants me to cover it. So let's watch this Trump stuff and get a few laughs in.
During your election campaign,
Mr. President, how is the U.S. going to own Gaza? Your White House has made clear taxpayer dollars won't be used for this. So what money are you going to use to buy Gaza?
We're not going to buy anything. We're going to have it, and we're going to keep it, and we're going to make sure that
we're not going to buy anything. We're going to have it. What the fuck does that mean?
there's going to be peace, and there's not going to be any problem, and nobody's going to question it. And we're going to run it very properly, and eventually we'll have economic development at a very large scale, maybe the largest scale on that site. And we'll have lots of good things built there, including hotels and office buildings and housing and other things. And we'll make that site into what it should be. And the people from Gaza who wouldn't be able to be there for years, because you're talking about just to get it and prepare it and to take care of all of the problems that currently it has. As you know, tunnels, and people are in those tunnels, and you have some good people and some bad.
What about those tunnels that were in New York? Did y'all ever find out those rats? We had people in our own tunnels over here. Remember that? I almost wish I could find that video real quick. Let me see if I can. No.
A tunnel built under a famous synagogue in Brooklyn. A 60-foot tunnel was found right underneath the Chabad Lubavitch World Headquarters in Crown Heights. That tunnel was shut down. It was filled with cement. But before all that, a brawl broke out this week. People got arrested when police showed up to seal off the tunnel. As for why the tunnel was built in the first place, that is still being pieced together. News 4's Andrew Siff live on East Parkway now, where there are safety concerns also for other buildings in that area, Andrew.
Right, Adam. Although we've learned in the last hour or so from the city buildings department that they have successfully shored up all but one address adjacent to this synagogue. One building, 304 Kingston Avenue around the corner, does still have a vacate order because of fire safety concerns. But as you indicated,
Fire safety.
Controversial tunnel that the buildings department discovered has been sealed and filled with cement. Start with a famous address, 770 Eastern Parkway, headquarters of the Orthodox Jewish Chabad Lubavitch organization.
This is understandably the most recognizable Jewish building in the world.
Now add in a famous religious leader, Rabbi Menachem Schneerson. He died in 1994, but remains such a powerful symbol that a group of students here seemed convinced the late Rebbe had commanded them to expand the basement synagogue, subject of a decades-long real estate dispute.
They actively knocked down the wall separating the synagogue with a nearby basement, and that's what got all over the news.
The result, a makeshift tunnel that you may have seen on social media this week. It also got the attention of the city's Department of Buildings and led to several arrests for criminal mischief and reckless endangerment. The DOB found the passage 60 feet long by 8 feet wide by 5 feet tall, had no approval or permits, had inadequate shoring, which risked the stability of neighboring buildings, so vacate orders were issued. And cement trucks showed up over the past 24 hours to plug the passageway, preventing anyone from getting trapped down there.
What the heck? Y'all remember that? Look at this. Look at this sewer rat.
A riot at a synagogue in Brooklyn. A historic synagogue, the Chabad Lubavitch World Headquarters in New York, was the stage of chaos between the NYPD and a group of Hasidic Jewish worshippers who had been found to have illegally dug tunnels. They claimed it was an expansion plan that was envisioned by the former head of the Chabad movement. It's believed they'd been excavating for nearly a year. A spokesperson for the movement described them as a group of extremist students. The synagogue then called in engineers to fill the tunnels with cement and close them off, which sparked this. They're believed to have been caught as word spread of the tunnel's existence around the community. 9 people were arrested by police and investigators are assessing the structural damage. This is a worshipper and...
Yeah, we have our own problems with tunnels, don't we?
People, and you may have hostages right now. You know, you have the hostages possibly there. They don't know where they are. And, you know, I have a Saturday deadline, and I don't think they're going to make the deadline personally. I think they want to play tough guy, but we'll see how tough they are. But it's going to be a wonderful thing. It's going to be wonderful for the Middle East. I think it'll turn the Middle East. I think you're going to have peace in the Middle East. You're going to eventually have peace in the Middle East.
Mr. President, you've said before that the U.S. would buy Gaza, and today you just said we're not going to buy Gaza.
We're not going to have to buy. We're going to have Gaza. We don't have to buy. There's nothing to buy. We will have Gaza.
What does that mean?
No reason to buy. There is nothing to buy. It's Gaza. It's a war.
There is nothing to buy. It's Gaza. It's just like free land? That's sick, dude.
War-torn area. We're going to take it. We're going to hold it. We're going to cherish it.
We're going to take it and hold it and cherish it like a little baby. And I bet within 5 years, we just give it to Israel. What do y'all want to bet?
We're going to get it going eventually where a lot of jobs are going to be created for the people in the Middle East. It's going to be for the people in the Middle East, but I think it can be a diamond. It can be an absolute tremendous asset for the Middle East. And you're going to have peace. It's going to bring peace in the Middle East. Gaza, the way it is right now, every 10 years, you're going to have the same thing happening. I've watched it so long, all the death and destruction of Gaza. A civilization's been wiped out in Gaza. No, it's going to be a tremendous thing. It's fronting on the sea. It's going to be a great economic development job. It's going to put people to work, a lot of people to work, and those people are all going to be from the Middle East.
And just to follow up with one on that for King Abdullah, can you clarify again, sir, how do you feel about the U.S. taking Gaza, as the president said?
Well, again, this is something that we, as Arabs, will be coming to the United States with something that we're going to talk about later to discuss all these options.
And Mr. President, take it under what authority? It is sovereign territory.
Under the U.S. authority.
Oh, man. Did that get y'all going? Pause.
Next, sir, this is a national security presidential memorandum that seeks to impose maximum pressure on the government of the Islamic Republic of Iran. Many of these provisions are similar to actions that your administration took during your first administration. The basic idea here is to have every department and agency, or many departments and agencies in your government attempt to sanction and control Iranian activities, particularly relating to the Iranian nuclear program and the Iranian export of terrorism through support of various proxy groups abroad. And the intent here is to give you all of the possible tools to, I'd say, engage with the Iranian government to ensure that going forward they are less of a malign actor on the world stage.
So this is one that I'm torn about. Everybody wants me to sign it. I'll do that. It's very tough on Iran. It's what we had before. We would have never had the problem. You would have never had October 7th. We would have never had the problem had the election gone a different way, which it should have. But this one, I think, more than made up for it. I think we're doing things, and it shows it more than made up for it, much more historic. The Iran situation, hopefully, I'm going to sign it, but hopefully we're not going to have to use it very much. We will see whether or not we can arrange or work out a deal with Iran, and everybody can live together, and maybe that's possible, and maybe it's not possible. So I'm signing this, and I'm unhappy to do it, but I really have not so much choice because we have to be strong and firm, and I hope that it's not going to have to be used in any great measure at all. It'd be great if we could have a Middle East and maybe a world at total peace. Right now you don't have that. When I left, you had peace all over the world, and now you have the world is blowing up. As you know, Bibi is coming in to see me later.
Bibi!
Others are coming in to see me. We'll see what we can do. But I'm signing this, and hopefully it will be a document which won't be very important, will hardly have to be used.
So what kind of deal would you be prepared to
Well,
make
we're going to
with
see. I mean, we're going to see. They cannot have a nuclear weapon. With me, it's very simple. Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. We don't want to be tough on Iran.
He thinks he's taking their favorite toy away from the baby. Iran cannot have a nuke. It's it. That's simple.
I don't want to be tough on anybody, but they just can't have a nuclear weapon.
Mr. President, are you going to engage in conversations with your counterpart in Iran?
I would.
Do you want to block the sale of Iranian oil to other nations?
Well, we have the right to do that, and that's what I did before. And they had no money; they wouldn't have had the money for Hamas or Hezbollah and anybody else.
How can you stop another country from just selling oil to anybody? That's like a weird concept.
It could have been solved. This thing, it just, if things went the way they should have, this would have been over long ago. But it's not over.
How close do you think Iran is to developing a nuclear weapon?
I think they're close. I think they're close. They're too close. But again, you could go back 4 years. I would have said they would have had it during this intervening period. But they're pretty close, Peter.
And why say that you're unhappy to sign it if it's Iran and their proxies who will threaten to retaliate against you and your team by killing you guys for taking out Soleimani?
Well, they haven't done that, and that would be a terrible thing for them to do. Not because of me. If they did that, they would be obliterated. That would be the end. I've left instructions. If they do it, they get obliterated. There won't be anything left. And they shouldn't be able to do it. And Biden should have said that, but he never did. I don't know why. Lack of intelligence, perhaps. But he never said it. If that happens to a leader, or close to a leader, frankly, if you had other people involved also. You would call for total obliteration of a state that did it. That would include Iran. So I'm signing this, and it's a very powerful.
I wonder who the reporter from the video I reacted to yesterday, where the guy would like chuckle when Trump said certain things. I want to know who the hell that reporter is, and I want him there for like every other press conference. I want him to get like a lot of chances in the Oval Office. I need that guy chuckling when Trump says good stuff. That was good.
Yes. Yeah, please.
Earlier this week, you predicted that all hell would break loose if Hamas didn't hand over all of their hostages. What do you expect to happen tomorrow in terms of
I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow at 12 o'clock. It was up to me. I'd take a very hard stance. I can't tell you what Israel's going to do. But I watched the last people come out, and I looked at a before and an after picture. One guy was a big, strong, healthy guy. Could say he was a little bit overweight. He's not overweight anymore. He looks like he just came out of the Holocaust. It looks like a Holocaust picture. I've looked at him for a long time, and they've been treated very badly. A young lady came out last week. Her hand was blown off. I mean, literally, her hand was trying to stop a bullet that was headed for her face. She put up her hand. She goes like this and wiped out her fingers and a lot of her hand. Now, I would take a different stance, but it depends. Look, it depends what Bibi's going to do. It depends what Israel's going to do. But and now I understand they've totally changed. Hamas has totally changed. They want to release hostages now again. But you have to see, this started by them saying, we're not going to release the hostages as we said we were. I said, good. You have till 12 o'clock on Saturday, which is tomorrow at 12 o'clock, to do it. And we didn't hear anything. Then all of a sudden, 2 days ago, they said, no, we've decided we're going to release the hostages. So, but I actually think they should release all of the hostages. Remember, they're probably as bad as they looked. I mean, I don't like to say that, but they looked real bad 4 days ago, 5 days ago when I saw them. And the young ladies that came out were treated really badly. You don't know what happened, but I do. They were treated really badly. But as bad as they look...
You don't know what happened, but I do.
The ones that follow probably will look a lot worse. I think they're sending out their most healthy. And they've been hit hard on that, Hamas. So they probably didn't want to release. But they obviously, they changed their mind. I said 12 o'clock tomorrow, and all of a sudden, 2 days ago, yesterday, they said they're going back to releasing. But this all started by them saying, we are not going to release any more hostages. And then yesterday, they said they are going to release the hostages. But I think they should release all of the hostages.
Where does he say all hell will break loose?
Yeah, please.
Earlier this week, you predicted that all hell would break loose if Hamas didn't hand over all of their hostages. What do you expect to happen tomorrow in terms of
I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow at 12 o'clock.
He had already said that, and the reporter was asking about him what he said. Oh, man. I almost need that. Baby girl. What the fuck the function? That song is pretty catchy, I ain't gonna lie. All hell will break loose.
If those hostages aren't back, I don't want to hurt your negotiation. If they're not back by the time I get into office, all hell will break out in the Middle East. And it will not be good for Hamas, and it will not be good, frankly, for anyone. All hell will break out. I don't have to say anymore, but that's what it is.
All hell will break loose.
And they should have given them back a long time. They should have never taken them. There should have never been the attack of October 7th. People forget that. But there was, and many people are killed.
Oh, what a guy.
Saturday at 12, we want them all back. I'm speaking for myself. Israel can override it. But from myself, Saturday at 12 o'clock, and if they're not here, all hell is going to break out.
Does he just like saying that? Oh my God.
I think a lot of them are dead. I think a lot of the hostages are dead. I think it's a great human tragedy. What's happened? How people can be that mean to do. I mean, the one guy was laughing when a hostage he thought his family was alive, found out the family was dead, and his captor, so to speak, started laughing because he thought it was so funny. You know, this is
all hell's gonna break loose. He says that, and then Netanyahu. When did he say that?
Yes. Yeah, please.
Yeah, he said that, and then 2 days later, Netanyahu said this.
Also have no doubt that you'll be a voice of clarity and courage on the world stage for the values that we in Israel.
Spoiler: he says gates of hell will be open, but let's. I wonder if I should see the whole thing or just jump to the punchline. Let's cut the crap here and BB.
Between us, we have a common strategy, and we can't always share the details of this strategy with the public, including when the gates of hell will be opened, as they surely will if all our hostages are not released until the last one of them.
Well, they haven't all been released. As Trump said, many of them are dead. So I guess the gates of hell have been opened, according to you, right?
Israel is determined to achieve all the war objectives we set after.
That's such a funny phrasing to say. The gates of hell, all hell will break loose. The gates of hell will be open.
The horrific attack on October 7th, the worst attack on Jews since the Holocaust. We will eliminate Hamas's military capability.
Did he say it again? I guess not. Oh, man, this is a... Okay.
And its political rule in Gaza. We will bring all our hostages home, and we will ensure that Gaza never again poses a threat to Israel. The unequivocal support of the United States on Gaza will help us achieve these objectives faster and set it.
Rubio looks like he's been bought and paid for. He says as little as possible. He just looks like a complete... He looks like miserable almost and like not happy.
On a path for a different future. Secretary Rubio and I discussed President Trump's bold vision for Gaza, for Gaza's future, how we can work together to ensure.
Has anyone else noticed that whenever Rubio's like here and when he's in the Oval Office and when he's in the cabinet meetings, he just looks miserable?
That future becomes a reality. We also discussed the situation in Syria after the collapse of Assad's regime, a collapse that was made possible by Israel's weakening of Iran's terror axis, especially the weakening of Hezbollah and the removal of Nasrallah. For over a decade before October 7th, Israel acted to prevent Iran from developing new terror fronts against us in Syria, right opposite the Golan Heights and deeper in Syria. And we conducted hundreds of airstrikes, perhaps 1,000, in order to prevent it, and we did. Now, if any other force in Syria today believes that Israel will permit other hostile forces to use Syria as a base of operations against us, they are gravely mistaken. Israel will act to prevent any threat from emerging near our border in southwest Syria. The Secretary and I discussed Lebanon as well. Israel is committed to the ceasefire understandings that were reached in November. We expect the government of Lebanon to be equally committed to their fulfillment. The scenes we saw this weekend in Beirut of UNIFIL forces being attacked by Hezbollah, this was not encouraging. The two UN resolutions that everyone refers to, 1559, 1701, well, they must be fully implemented. Hezbollah must be disarmed. And Israel would prefer that the Lebanese army do that job. But no one should doubt that Israel will do what it has to do to enforce the understandings of the ceasefire and defend our security.
I think we've seen enough. I just wanted to get the all hell will break loose thing. And just interesting phrasing. Oh, and Netanyahu said the gates of hell will be open, which was even like a crazier phrasing. So y'all let me know what y'all think about that. Let's see how long I've been streaming. 45 minutes. Ah, man, let me see. I kind of want to talk about the Steve Smith thing, but honestly, not that much. And maybe we'll close it out there. I'm getting kind of tired, and I didn't have as many. I've been saying this like a lot, probably the past like 3-ish months, but I didn't have anything really lined up for tonight. I just kind of went live impromptu. Joey was telling me to talk about the stimulus thing, which has been somewhat of a topic over the past maybe 2-ish weeks. I was gonna say month, but it hadn't been that long. Trump's only been in office like a month and a half, but it feels like longer because he's doing these. He has something to say like every day or every other day. Um, so I think we're pretty much caught up though. I've covered a lot of it on this channel, not all of it. And even some of the videos we covered, I kind of skipped around and rushed through, but we covered a lot of it. We got some good content. We got some good takes. I feel like, kind of covered the gates of hell being open today. It's kind of a weird thing to say, especially after Trump said it. I think he said it like right before he got elected. Then he said it like a day or two before Netanyahu, which was like less than a month later. And then Netanyahu said it. It's like, okay, we're just throwing. And Netanyahu actually said the gates of hell will be open, not just all hell will break loose. So it's like, boy, they're really throwing that around. But anyway, what else? And then in the beginning, we kind of covered the. What did we cover in the beginning? Damn, I'm drawing a hard blank. Oh, I just talked about the stimulus checks. And then the third thing was the Steve Smith. I knew there was a third topic. But yeah, the stimulus checks, uh, you know, the all hell breaking loose, and then Steve Smith, you know, the Steve Smith thing, look into it if you want. I think I mentioned it a little bit on the last night's stream, but uh he got caught cheating with somebody, or somebody's wife got caught cheating with him, and then the husband kind of like blew it up on social media instead of just like taking the L and kind of moving forward. So it's almost like he's trying to drag other people down with him. It's like, all right, just because you're hitting a low, just like, it's easier said than done. But again, like I kind of referenced last night, that's why the red pill is so important. And you can go overboard with quote unquote red pill rage and like focusing on that a little bit too much. But the cold hard facts of the red pill are good to know and good tools to have in your tool belt when moving through life as a man, and just kind of keep those in mind. And really, a lot of it is not too crazy and hard to think of, but there are some things that they point out that are like some of it's just like not that hard to think of and basic, but some of it is some like wisdom that's taken years to acquire. It might take you years to acquire, like little fine tuning things that different people have seen and different angles, and like, some stuff of it is, there are some gems in it for sure, but you just don't want to get caught too much up in it. And uh what was I gonna say? Like some of it is obvious, but then going through life you can get influenced, or you can kind of forget some of that stuff, or you can meet a girl and start thinking, oh, this doesn't apply to her, or like she's the one, or you can start thinking like these irrational things, and kind of um life's gonna teach you the lesson that needs to, I guess, or because if you knew that stuff already, you wouldn't need to get taught that lesson. So, but with that being said, sometimes you can learn from other people's lessons, and there can be drops and gems of wisdom that it might take you years to acquire, or you might never see it from quite that angle, quite that good. And so the red pill stuff is good, but everything with the balance. And you know, um yeah, I just think it's good to have those tools, but maybe not to just like live and die that, but definitely have the wisdom and use it to avoid being put in situations like this husband that like didn't have his guard up, so to speak, and didn't have a realistic view of things, which the red pill teaches, and just kind of knowing the ugly truths and living life according to that, and kind of just taking life as it is instead of as you would think it should be through rose-colored glasses. And that way, when your wife cheats on you, you are realistic about why, and you can just take the L, move on, and be better. And that's way easier said than done. But if you have the balance, like I was saying with the red pill stuff, you can kind of always have in mind that you're two individual people, and just have a realistic perception of um your partnership and what it is. And I probably could break this down more on a future episode, but um because I'm trying to summarize what I'm trying to say, and I'm saying a lot, and getting farther and farther away from like wrapping it up here. But um yeah, I just think relationships are hard, and but having a realistic evaluation of yourself and your partner and where y'all are at is really good and healthy. And I think anyone would agree with that. And you don't want to um be viewing your relationship from like place of the past, or like a dreamy thought about how it is. It's good to be grounded in reality and know what the hell's going on. So if you do happen to take that L, you can bounce back that much better and faster. So I was kind of getting wild with my explanation, but I kind of think I brought it home decent. And yeah, so that's just without reading articles or anything of like the whole Steve Smith thing. That's why it's important. Uh, and you don't want to be that guy. You can't control if you get cheated on within reason, but you can control how you react, how you boss up, how you maintain respect for yourself and show the other person, even though you didn't respect me, you should have, and you will now, because I'm out and I'm going to keep my dignity, even though you didn't keep yours, and I am to be respected. And you can walk away like a boss. And I guarantee you, if you do that, not that it matters, that the other dude and the woman will respect you, not that they matter, and you will respect yourself, and that's what matters. Uh and yeah, and it is good to like, you don't want them to not respect you, so nothing like that. But anyway, that's why it's good to have some of the red pill knowledge, but not get red pill raged out. It's just my opinion. And but definitely good to have the knowledge. It's better that to have the knowledge and be red pill raged out, I would say, than to not have the knowledge and get fucked over or put yourself in a really compromised like position to be uh just not in charge of yourself, is the best way to put it. So let me know what y'all think about that kind of spiel. Do y'all have any opinions or takes on the red pill? And what do y'all think? So we kind of covered the stimulus check possibility, the all hell breaking loose or opening the gates of hell, and just kind of a few short funny videos from Trump and Netanyahu. And that kind of thing catches us up for the most part on the Trump stuff, even though some of it was kind of old. And then kind of the Steve Smith thing, but me giving my angle and perspective on it. And I really didn't have planned out what I was going to say, but just kind of a rough idea. And I think, the red pill rage can come from like if a girl does you wrong or something doesn't go right, and then you get all into the red pill and you take it too far. And it's not really what I'm calling red pill rage, is more or less when you focus on something. It's like when people say when you're broke, don't focus on being broke and your problems, just focusing on getting money. And even though this is not like the most wholesome thing or the best example, it's a good example. It's not the most wholesome thing though. But like if you're broke, don't focus on being broke and your problems. Focus on success and how you're going to do good and making the money and all the like network connections and being positive and waking up early and planning well and all the things that are positive that equate with making money. So focus on the good. Don't focus on the bad, because you're just going to attract more bad. So in that same way of when you're trying to get over a bad relationship, or just not focus on women as much, or whatever, because like basically one of those two things, or like just if you're focusing on those things, you're going to be attracted to more of those things. And the red pill is how to deal with those things correctly, but it's still how to deal with those things. So if you're trying to get over a breakup or not think about girls and just kind of like elevate as an individual and like better yourself, work on your career, maybe get into shape, worry about your health, just whatever. If you're trying to focus on becoming better, you're not gonna do that while you're still focusing on a problem, so to speak. So not as much red pill rage, but just that can happen sometimes for sure. But just if you're focusing on quote unquote the problem, you're gonna stay in that negative loop instead of putting your time into something positive, and that negative is gradually gonna slip away. So that's what I found personally. Um, like I said, the red pill knowledge is great to be equipped with, but if you're focusing on that, you're still gonna be in that area in some aspect in your mind versus just putting your time and energy into more and more positive stuff, and then you're not gonna have time for the negative. So that's just my 2 cents, something from my perspective. I've heard other people kind of talk about focusing on more and more positive stuff and the negative kind of like slipping away. And it's funny how that works. You only have time for so much things in the day, and you only have like positive and negative energy, although it sounds cheesy, really can't exist in the same area. Like if it can, but it's hard. So like if I'm all upbeat and positive and happy and someone walks in the room, they're likely to match my energy versus if I'm down and solemn and sad and someone comes in the room, they're likely to match that energy. And a better example is like if someone walks into a room and there's a big surprise party and everyone jumps out and surprises them, it's likely that they're going to be like hyped up and match everyone's energy of the room. So, um, you know, I don't know what I've said. Oh, yeah, just negative and positive energy not really being able to be in the same spot. They can be, but it's hard. So if you focus more and more on the positive, you're gonna tend to let the negative slip away. That's something that's worked for me lately. And just thought I'd pass it on. I've heard other people say that too, and I definitely agree. So y'all let me know what y'all thought about the 3 topics for tonight. Uh oh, I should have. Yeah, I meant to check out "Could Have Been Loved" by Drewski. Joey was also telling me to check out that. So I was just about to end out the stream, because I kind of had wrapped up the 3 topics that I was talking about and gave a good summary, I thought. But maybe we'll check out a little bit of the Drewski. You know what? I'm gonna save that for tomorrow. I've been wanting to get a consistent, steady live stream on Fridays going. That'll be a great topic to start off tomorrow's live stream. Friday night, we'll watch an episode of Drewski Could Have Been Love, and we'll have some laughs. And because this one, I was kind of, even though the Trump and Netanyahu stuff was somewhat light, uh, and the Elon thing wasn't that like long, but it was kind of a more political thing, a more even though I didn't give that much commentary on it, it's something that there could be a lot of commentary on it as a political topic and something somewhat in depth. And then we went over the Trump and Netanyahu thing, and then this last thing I kind of gave my little spiel on red pill, and kind of a somewhat different like how it's good to be equipped with the red pill, but then how it's also good to like not maybe focus on that as much, to let the just kind of always thinking about girls and dating and red pill and relationships and just kind of let all that go. So I think I'll not end off this stream. I've only been going like an hour. I think I'm gonna end the stream off, keep it nice and concise with the title, and then I'll either do another live stream and react to the Could Have Been Love, or I'm probably am gonna save it for tomorrow. I'm gonna try to get some good sleep tonight. The last couple of nights I stayed up late, like doing some planning for a job, my day job. So I'm a little tired, a little behind on sleep. I feel like I'm pretty much caught up on all the Trump stuff, and I'm just gonna end off this stream. I feel like it was a pretty good one overall, and we'll do a little reaction to Could Have Been Love, and maybe I'll see what else I can find that's maybe more of like a pop culture-ish. Maybe we'll see like what Adam 22's been up to, maybe a little Whack 100, something kind of greasy, and maybe some Drewski, and maybe one other thing. And yeah, so we'll do something a little more light tomorrow, a little more fun on Friday. And yeah, be sure to tune into the stream tomorrow. I'm probably going to try to go live around 7 or 8. So if y'all are home on a Friday night, nothing to do, y'all want to get some good laughs, see some good content, and then maybe we'll get into like, maybe we'll end off the stream with a little discussion and something a little more serious, but we'll start off with the Drewski light stuff, and we'll have some fun. So yeah, I think that's it. Y'all go check out Mr. Joe Games channel. He is almost at 800 subscribers. He's pushing for that 1,000 by the end of the year. He's trying to get up to 3,000 watch hours for this year. And it's not calendar year. It's like a month to month year. But he's trying to get those up. Y'all go check out his channel. He has WoW gameplay. He has Minecraft gameplay. He has Final Fantasy, I believe, 7 gameplay. And he's also doing the Yu-Gi-Oh thing with me. We got a new episode coming out. Mine just dropped tonight. His is going to drop tomorrow. And I'll probably have him on a live stream soon. I know he's been busy. He's got his own life and things going on. And he's got the gaming channel. So, but yeah, y'all go check out Mr. Joe Games. I appreciate him for always tuning in, always joining me here, giving me suggestions, and always just being a content creator bro that I can run. When I have tech issues, we help each other with that and certain things. So shout out to him, friend of the channel. Y'all go check him out. He's trying to grow the channel, and he's got a good personality and a good just a good person to watch and play some retro games and some current games. And he's really going to be someone that I would really be interested to watch play GTA 6 when it comes out this fall. And anyway, that's kind of my promo for Joey. But we got the Yu-Gi-Oh episode dropping tonight. And yeah, I'll see y'all tomorrow. Maybe Joey will call in. Maybe I'll have someone else. Who knows? But I appreciate y'all. And if you enjoy the content, I would appreciate a comment. Let me know what you think about a topic, or if you have an idea. Like, subscribe, share it. But most importantly, if you really like with it and fuck with it, share it and with someone you know in real life. Because word of mouth to our friends and family and community in real life, and just telling someone, hey, I ate at this restaurant, or this certain car that I bought really was good for me. I like this car brand, or I like this TV show, or I like this podcast. That is still the best way and most meaningful way that we share what's good. And personal recommendations and word of mouth still really hold a lot of weight, even in this social media and digital age. So if you like the content, you found value, share it with someone you know in person. And I appreciate you all. Until next time, I'm LG from Where There's Smoke. I'm out.